We are live. UFC 229 this past weekend. Lots of craziness. I'm going to speak a little bit to it just because, I don't really agree with everything that happened, but it went down the way it did. And we are here today, and the UFC is still going to be as big as it was on Friday. So, win-win for everybody because it just makes for more publicity. The same thing that the Dolly and the bus thing did. But let's get into it. Excuse me. Excuse me. But Conor McGregor, first off, losing via look like a chin crank a little bit to Habib Nurmagomedov. Gotta say it slow, but I got it. Um, Great fight. I loved it. I was sitting pretty much off the couch the entire time, trying to sit down and relax, but my whole body was floating off the couch. Um, it was incredible. As soon as the fight ends, I was always the type of guy where I'm like, these guys are in here beating each other up. This is a cage fighting event. Why would they get up and shake hands? Like I never liked that. So when he got up and he got pissed and threw his mouthpiece and he got in McGregor's face, I was like, oh hell yeah! And I was getting hyped. The camera stays on him. He jumps out, attacks Dylan Dennis. Fight goes on inside the cage. Conor McGregor jumps up on top of the cage along with what is believed to be Khabib's brother, and Conor McGregor throws a left hand at Khabib's brother, which Khabib throws a couple right hands back. Khabib's brother throws a couple right hands back at him while they're on the cage. And then they hop off. A black shirt gentleman that is on Khabib's team jumps in to the cage for a second, followed by a person in a red shirt on Habib's team. The person in the black shirt attacks Conor for a second, just like a one swing or two. As soon as Conor throws the one punch back at that guy, the guy in the red shirt comes up behind him and hits him with a three-piece from behind. He gets pulled away, and then it is the original person that Conor swung at on the fence comes flying across the cage, tackles Conor up against the cage. It looks like he lands a couple good body shots on Conor McGregor. All mayhem, just mayhem after the fights. Everybody wants to get down to the root cause of what made this happen. A lot of people blaming Habib. Some people blaming Dylan Dennis. I looked into a lot of the tapes. I've seen pretty much every angle, and I was almost sure that Dylan Dennis was the reason for. I mean, you got to keep your cool. You don't jump out of a cage and go beat somebody up. So I mean, Habib still would have to be at some kind of fault here, but at the same time, if somebody's yelling racial gestures to you, or whatever the case would have been with Dylan Dennis, I would definitely have to give him a good bit of the blame as well. But I've seen a video from behind Dylan Dennis, where it is said to be somebody from Habib's management team, not Ali, but somebody else from his management team in a blue suit, comes up behind Dennis, smacks him on his back once Conor McGregor wins, and it doesn't appear that Habib sees that. Habib had just jumped up, and it was just in the moment, and he was looking at Dennis, so maybe he did see him, but I mean, he didn't. It was a weird position. If you looked at the octagon, you'd see they were right behind the door. So he might not have known at the time that his management team was standing next to Dylan Dennis. So he gets over to that side of the cage screaming at Dennis from inside the cage, and Dennis looks up and pushes the guy from Habib's team. And simultaneously, as soon as he does it, Habib launches himself over the cage, jumps off of the little awning there, to a kick, a full kick to Dylan Dennis, misses, whatever. But that's how it all started. It all started from his management team really just coming up and starting shit, because it honestly looked like it was going to just be, he was going to be talking shit to Dennis and going to get in Dennis's face maybe or whatever, and then that was going to be it. But as soon as he's seen Dylan Dennis push his management team who lost his shit. So, you know, he himself even said he was a little out of character for him and that he's going to be in trouble back home for it. So he knows what he did wasn't the smartest decision. So it definitely had to be like a heat of the moment type thing. But so he gets some of the blame no matter what. No matter what. But I think it all started with his management team, man, whoever that guy is with the blue suit. And I think that guy got arrested. One of the things. One of the guys was Islam Makhachev. They said won't fight in UFC no more. That sucks because he's beast. And the guy in the red shirt was supposed to fight Artem Lobov in a week, fucking October 27th. And this guy fucking wants to jump on Conor and get his fight taken away. He had a chance to fight his best friend, bro. Best friend. Great job. Great job. Not much to say, right? About the, blown opportunities is all you could say for those guys that aren't Habib and Conor. Because Habib, what's he get? 6 months to a year suspension? Maybe. Year suspension, he might get his title taken. Whatever. 6 months, he'll probably keep his title. What's Conor get? Less than that? Because they already gave Conor his money. So they already think Conor's more innocent than Habib because they're holding Habib's money and they gave Conor his money. So he's already, whatever Khabib's fine or part in this he gets, punishment, Conor's will be a little bit lighter because they already think a little bit lighter of his punishment. That's pretty much it for that. Bellator this weekend has got 207 and 208 coming up. 207 in Connecticut, the Mohegan Sun. 208 in Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. Long Island, New York, my hometown. I wish I could have been there, but I can't. But 207, we'll get into it. Matt Mitrione, Ryan Bader, Matt Mitrione. I think he's 4-0 right now in Bellator. Who's got ones over? Fedor, Roy Nelson. Let's just get on there. Fedor, Roy Nelson. Just to name a few. I think he's got one over Derek Lewis too in the UFC. He's Derek Lewis in the UFC right now. Ryan Bader. 5-fight win streak right now. Last 3 of them were in Bellator. The 2 before that were in the UFC. He beat A. Latifi and Nogueira in the UFC. And then when he came to Bellator, he got Phil Davis, Lynn Vasil, and King Mo in this heavyweight tournament that he's in right now with Matt Mitrione. Which this fight, if whoever wins this fight, they're fighting in the finals for the heavyweight title at Bellator. So this is a tough pick for me, but I'm going to go with the wrestling of Ryan Bader because I believe Ryan Bader is on a fantastic streak right now. He thinks really highly of himself. He's going to come in there and he's going to dominate the wrestling. And although he may be the smaller fighter on fight night, maybe because he's a big heavyweight. I think he'll make up for it. I think his speed will make up for it. I think he will make up for it in the fight, and he will move on to the next round. And that's also what I'm hoping for because of who I'm going to pick in the next fight. Little weird how I kind of switched up my life with how the type of fighting styles that I like to watch, but it's a little weird. There was a couple other fights on there. Lorenz Larkin was fighting somebody. Kimbo Slice's son, Ferguson Jr., he was fighting somebody. But there's no real big fights on that card. 208 in Nassau Coliseum. Czech Congo is fighting Timothy Johnson. Congo, Dude, Jack Congo's been in the UFC. I mean, not UFC, in Bellator since 2013. He's had 12 fights in Bellator. Um, he's on a 6-fight win streak right now. The first of those fights, the first of that streak coming to Alexander Volkov, who just lost to Derek Lewis, who's now challenging for the title. Spoiler alert for later on in the broadcast. But Derek Lewis not challenging for the title. He just fought Alexander Volkov. This guy's first win of his 6-fight winning streak comes off of fucking Alexander Volkov. So he's a bad motherfucker. He's fighting we're talking about Czech Congo. He's fighting Timothy Johnson, who was cut from the UFC for going 4-3. This is his debut in Bellator. He's got losses against Jared Rosholt, Alexander Volkov, who Czech Congo has beaten, and Junior Albini. He's got a win over Martian Tybor, which is a good win. It's a good win to have, but I think he's in a little bit over his head. The vet, Czech Congo, is probably going to get himself a little knockout right here. I'm going to go Czech Congo knockout first round. Let's give it to him quick, guys. Co-main event for that card, Benson Henderson, Saad Awad, which I apologize, Saad, if you're the guy that fucking copyrighted me, but the first time I ever watched your fight, I thought that shit was so crazy. I had to live stream it, so I was live streaming it. And I thought since Bellator was fucking, we were on Paramount, so I mean, I had TV. I figured, fuck it, I could videotape it, but now they fucking copyrighted me. That shit got so many views, Saad. You got me mad views, but I still this matchup. It's a hard matchup to face. You know, Benson Henderson coming off with some streaky wins losses. His last fight becoming a win for a second round submission to Roger Huerta, legend of the sport as it may be. Saad Awad is on a 4-fight win streak. Also in Bellator since 2013, 16 fights in those 5 years that he's been in Bellator. So he's putting in work. The guy's putting in work. Tall task at hand. I think Awad's got it. I think it's going to be a little bit of, I say this all the time with the UFC, how the older man passes the torch to the younger man. I kind of see it a little bit. So I'm going to go Saad Awad, fucking split decision. We're going to go split decision. I think it's going to be a great fight, though, and I'm definitely going to be watching because it's my hometown. I love Bellator anyway, and the main event is somebody who people look at as the GOAT of MMA, the greatest of all time, Fedor Emelianenko, fighting Chael Sonnen, and the other side of the, what would this be, the semifinals of the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix, and I'm going to go with who I think and want here. And I'm going to say think, and then my official pick is who I want because I want the pick if I get my shit right. I can't stand it if I pick what I think is going to happen, and then when I want it to happen happens. I get so pissed off. So my official pick is what I want to happen. But I think Fedor is going to come in there and knock him fucking silly. I want Chael Sonnen to out-wrestle him, outpoint him, survive Fedor by points, beat him, and then have the craziest MMA wrestling match with Ryan Bader and Chael Sonnen, which Chael Sonnen is a middleweight fighting in the heavyweight Grand Prix tournament. Ryan Bader is the light heavyweight champion in Bellator right now, I think, still believe, unless they stripped him. He's the light heavyweight champion. So if he wins, he's heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. If Chael wins, Chael went from middleweight and became the heavyweight champion of Bellator by defeating a light heavyweight in the final. Great storyline either way. Great for the sport if those two win. Not only the sport, Bellator is what I'm saying, the organization. I hope it's what happens. I'm going to go for Chael by unanimous decision in that one. It's a tough fight. It's one of those like McGregor Khabib fights where you didn't want to bet. You thought really hard Khabib was going to win, but it's like I don't want to lose money on this, and it's such a close fight. Anything can happen. So you didn't want to bet, but Khabib ended up winning. So I'm not gonna bet, but you guys do what you got to do. I'm rooting for Chael. I love you, Fedor. But it's the entertainment part of the fighting that I like. Also, I don't just like the entertainment part. I like to see the crazy scrambles and the knockouts and the crazy combos and all that. But the entertainment part of it I laugh, man, and it's real enjoyable to see all that. Um, can't wait for Bellator this weekend. Uh, last thing we got, Derek Lewis um, has just been announced. He just fought October 6th. Okay, he has been announced that he will now fight for the heavyweight title, which is defended by Daniel Cormier on the November 3rd UFC 230 card after fighting on UFC 229. Now, I read somewhere, and I'm going to assume this was for all fighters because Khabib didn't take any damage, and they said that all UFC fighters take a 10-day medical suspension from the day of the fight. October 6th means that the 16th would be the time that their medical suspension ends and they have contact. If that's true, that means they have a little couple days over 2 weeks to train with contact, Derek Lewis, to train with contact for the champion of the world, Daniel Cormier, who's a wrestler, has a lot of stamina. And you just gassed out in the first round, halfway through the first round. Daniel's like, yo, I can't fight on the December card because my right hand and my wrist is hurt, so I got to fight sometime next year, probably Brock. I'm going to probably wait for Brock because my hand, Oh, Derek Lewis? Yeah, November. Fuck it. My hand's like, I'm good. It's fucking, it's good. So his hand's good now. He went to the doctor. He put a couple band-aids on it. Definitely didn't want Jones. That's why they didn't want December. Scared of Jones taking that dream from you. It's crazy, man. I understand you want to go out a certain way, you want to retire, you want to do your thing, but dude, you can't look like a bitch, man. You look like a bitch. And Stipe deserved a immediate rematch. The most title defenses in heavyweight history he has, and he don't get an immediate rematch. You don't want to fight him because you want to fight Brock next. That was your answer to Stipe, because you want to fight Brock Lesnar next. And next thing you know, you're fighting 3, 4, 5 months earlier. It's Derek Lewis, another heavyweight that sometime around that same time was on the same card. I think it was on the same card. He fought Ngannou in one of the most boring heavyweight fights in the world ever. That's the guy over Stipe. Yeah, we're going down a bad path. I understand, trying to give the old guys what they want. I love the Dan Henderson move. I love Dan Henderson. I love it when they put him in the title fight with Bisping because it's a rematch and it's like you gotta fucking do it. It would have been great to see Henderson win the title. Right before he retired, they said it was a retiring fight, so it would have been cool. In Daniel's case, it's like, dude, you got it. You're there. You made it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to retire, you could retire as a champion right now. But if you want to fight again, we are giving you the exciting fights. Don't take Derek Lewis. Take Jones. Take Gustin at light heavyweight. Take Stipe again in a rematch. Don't take Derek Lewis, man. That's an easy fight, and we know you're trying to get an easy fight so you can get the Brock in March and then you can retire. And Brock's an easy fight, so you're trying to get 2 easy fights. Keep the heavyweight belt. You probably give up the light heavyweight belt by that time and retire as a champion. Fuck you, dog. You gotta learn some shit, man. You gotta learn, man. You're not gonna make money like that. I hear you work for Fox. You got that shit. But, man. It's not what I wanted to see happen. It's not at all what I wanted to see happen, bro. Um, very disappointing. Jones or Stipe, much rather see against Dave Cormier. Fuck it if we gotta make Stipe drop to 205 at either weight class. Um, that's what I say, man. Derek Lewis coming off 1 month. He's gonna have 2 weeks to train contact. 2 weeks. Can't go a round and a half. You've had how many 5-round fights? Come on, man. You're a dickhead. You're a dickhead, bro. That's all I got to say about that. Also, UFC, what are you doing? They signed the contract, Shevchenko and Eubanks. I know it's not a big fight. I know people complain about it because of Eubanks, but they signed the contract, bro. What's up? Why you take the fucking fight away, bro? I mean, come on. I'd rather fucking Cormier just wait for this shit if this is what's going to happen. You know? Damn, man. Damn. We had something good going for them this year. Now Poirier's hurting. Fucking Diaz ain't fighting on the fucking... Oh, man. It's all the shit. It's all the shit, guys, you know? But this weekend, 2 cards, maybe we might do something for one of them. You know, Friday or Saturday, we might do something for one of them. We'll see. We'll see what's up. But let me know. Let me know, guys. You guys come through and see what's up, man. See what's up on Friday. See what's up on Saturday. Definitely come by on Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday, late night. Late night on the East Coast, kind of midnight. We in the fucking like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock area on the fucking West Coast. Hopefully, I got a couple West Coast fans out there. But either way, you see us back sometimes. Come fuck with the barbecue pit. Holla at us.